To fall. Those are the two big takeaways on the economy this week as the Federal Reserve prepares to announce another interest rate hike.
The Fed's goal is to slow the economy down by making borrowing more expensive, which should bring down inflation. Now, some signs previous rate hikes are having an impact. Walmart cut its profit outlook, saying customers are spending less. And gas prices are falling fast. The average price of a gallon is now $4.32, down 58 cents from 1 month ago.
ABC's Mona Kosarabdi. Former President Trump back in Washington for a speech for the first time since leaving office and facing growing scrutiny over the January 6th attack.
The Washington Post is reporting that the Justice Department is looking into Trump's actions as part of its criminal investigation into the January 6th insurrection. Sources telling the paper prosecutors have been asking about conversations between Trump and his inner circle and obtained phone records of key aides. This comes as Trump and former Vice President Mike Pence gave dueling speeches in D.C. Tuesday. Trump talked about law and order and repeated election lies, while Pence focused on the future. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
WNBA star Brittany Griner back in a Russian courtroom this hour as her lawyers continue defending her on drug possession charges. William Pomeranz, director of the Kennan Institute for Advanced Research on Russia, says U.S. officials continue trying to get Griner out of the country.
There will not be a prisoner release until the trial is over, and that means that the trial will have to end essentially with conviction, because it's not going to be any other result.
President Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping will speak tomorrow, their first phone conversation in 4 months amid new tension between China and the U.S. This coming as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi contemplates a trip to Taiwan. Her office says she's still contemplating it. You're listening to ABC News.
Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
Oil keeps going up. Get in on the next major oil boom now and help make an investment that can potentially pay you monthly income for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you are an SEC-accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. The U.S. government needs your investment in oil, and you're allowed to write off nearly 100% of your investment in the first year. Goldman Sachs is projecting oil to go up to $150 a barrel. Call 1-800-278-7455. Encore Energy is a very active oil and gas operator in its core area of operations. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 1-800-278-7455. You'll be calling directly to the home office of Encore Energy. That's 1-800-278-7455.
Two new lawsuits now accuse Instagram of driving young girls into eating disorders, mental health problems, and addiction. Both lawsuits filed by two separate families from Kentucky saying their daughters got hooked on Instagram when they were 12 and got a steady stream of content specifically around food and cutting calories. Both girls attempted to take their own lives. Testimony continues today in the $150 million lawsuit against InfoWars founder Alex Jones. The suit brought by families of victims of the Sandy Hook massacre. He had claimed that that was nothing but a hoax. Not much rolling down the rails in Great Britain. 40,000 railway workers staging a one-day strike over pay and working condition. Landslides in the Philippines after a strong magnitude 7 earthquake. At least 4 people killed in the Philippines. And still working at 100 years old, a legendary TV producer.
July 27th, 1922. In the middle of Warren G. Harding's very short presidential term, Norman Lear is born in New Haven, Connecticut, the son of Eastern European and Russian Jewish immigrants, who would eventually become the inspiration for his iconic All in the Family characters.
You bring me home a kosher cake?
After serving in World War II, Lear became the king of the 70s sitcom, also creating or producing The Jeffersons, Maude, Sanford and Sons, One Day at a Time, Good Times, shows that tackled tough issues like race and abortion, but were always at their heart about family. And he's still at it today with at least 7 projects in the works. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
This is ABC News.
I was 53, divorced, and ready to get back out there. I was unsure about dating sites, but I signed up for Silver Singles and quickly met Lily.
Mark and Lily rediscovered the romance they deserve on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for 50-plus singles who know what they want.
Lily's a lover of the great outdoors like me, and we instantly connected over it.
If you're like Mark and want to rediscover that feeling, sign up today at silversingles.com/love. That's silversingles.com/love.
Sure.
It's the time of year to come to NC Tractor for the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. NC Tractor gives fantastic customer service, the best discounts possible, and it's a locally owned business. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue is helping to make outdoor work more enjoyable. Should you have something that you can be proud of for a long time? Massey Ferguson and Bobcat zero-turn mowers. Come look them over. 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton. That phone number is 288-0395.
The heat is on again today. Highs will head into the low to mid-90s. We have a heat advisory in effect for the region. Expect those feels-like temperatures at or above 105 degrees this afternoon. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will also be possible in addition to the heat. We do have a stationary boundary that's to the north that will fuel a lot of tropical moisture back into our region. Some storms could be strong to severe. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Peter Sherwood. It's 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we're starting our temperature right about the place we were yesterday morning, 72 degrees right now. Warming up today to about 92, but that heat index here in Rutherfordton area will bump up to about 99, possibly even over into 100. There is a 50-50 chance of some precipitation this afternoon and 50% chance tonight. Now, this hot temperature is going to be with us around here in the neighborhood all the way through the weekend. Friday looks like 92 will be our expected high. And then on Saturday, looks like maybe 90, or rather 89 and 87 on Sunday. So like it may be dropping down a little bit, but the humidity factor is still going to be real strong. Due to the number of death announcements, we're going to hold those off until after the Bill O'Reilly morning update today. And we'll get to those right after that, and then we'll have the Chronicles of the Old West to get right into our Call Around the County newscast. But there are some mentions here I'd like to give out. According to an article in the Daily Courier, 14 isothermal community college practical nursing students were awarded their pins at the ceremony this week. The pinning ceremony, held at the Foundation Performing Arts and Conference Center, is the traditional graduation event for the students in the practical nursing program. The graduates of the 2022 class are Misty Bain, Summer Bright, Natalie Crane, Amelia Harmon, Jessica Hembry, Andre Horman, Jasmine Hunter, Megan Jessup, Brittany Kimmer, Emma Owen, Rebecca Scoggins, Latika Smith, Brittany Williams, and Jacob Williams. After the presentation of pens, roses, and lamps by Ava Yamuni, ICC's Dean of Health and Public Services, there was special music, and the class officers were also recognized. Isothermal's practical nursing program celebrates its 50th anniversary in 2022. If you have need for more information, you can certainly contact them at 828-395-1762. Natural Practical Nursing Program. We want you to be sure to remember to stop by Foothills Family Hardware on Saturday afternoon. We're going to be there celebrating with our good friends there at the Family Hardware store. They've been here a year now, and they want to celebrate and have you come by for the party. There'll be free pizza, cold drinks, there'll be all-day giveaways, there'll be a prize wheel, and super savings all day long. It's something for everyone. And you certainly want to see Diva, the hardware dog, inside the store. Very friendly dog. People love to come by and pet Diva, and Diva loves it. And you'll love getting acquainted with these folks at the Foothills Family Hardware Store, locally owned store and well stocked. You just got to really see it to appreciate what we have right downtown for a city. We want you to come out and enjoy that so much. Braves had a good night last night over the Phillies, 6-3. The Braves 6, Phillies 3. Almost flipped that from Monday night. Phillies beat the Braves 6-4 on Monday night. Now they have a game this afternoon. It'd be a daytime in the hot sun of an afternoon game today. We'll see how all that works out while they play in the middle of the day, and 100-degree weather is beyond me, but I'm not in the baseball business. I don't understand it, but they do what they feel like they need to do to get all the games in, I guess. Bill O'Reilly Morning Updates coming up right now from our networks, and following that we'll get into the death announcements for today. It's 10 minutes past 7.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, I'm excited to tell you about our new entertainment partner, Vidgo. V as in Victor, I-D-G-O. Vidgo gives you the freedom to be entertained at a price you can afford. Vidgo has all my favorite live sports networks and a great choice of news programming. All of that starting at just $59 a month. You do deserve the freedom to be entertained at a price you and your family can afford. So please go to vidgo.com/bill. On this Wednesday, the midterm elections will test the sanity of Americans as our country is suffering under progressive leadership. There are not two sides to this story. The violent crime wave and the punishing inflation rate are both the result of far-left leadership. So is the open border disaster. Every fair-minded person understands that. Now, one wonders what an ad campaign for Democrats this year would look like. Vote for me if you want to go broke and become a crime victim? Does that sound good? Ardent liberals are pinning their faint midterm election hopes on the abortion controversy and climate change. But with working people getting hammered and the inner city poor in actual physical danger, social issues will not obscure incompetence. And sadly for him, many progressives have given up on President Biden. The only thing that might rally the left is Donald Trump officially declaring his candidacy for president. Maybe his slogan will be, Grover Cleveland came back, so can I. If Mr. Trump announces prematurely, Democrats and their trusty media allies will make the November vote all about him in an attempt to obscure the real issues. That worked with Biden's election. Right now, Donald Trump is leading the Republican polling by a significant margin, but he should wait to announce. Back after this. Many timeshare owners are very upset because their yearly dues have nearly doubled. Well, Lone Star will guarantee the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. With their A-plus rating at the Better Business Bureau, clients know that Lone Star Transfer is a company you can trust. For a free consultation, please go to LoneStarTransfer.com or call 855-551-7066. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
12 minutes after 7 o'clock, let's look now at the death announcements for this Wednesday. Plates Oscar Johnston, age 73, of Henrietta, passed away Monday, July 25th at Adrium Health Cleveland Pines in Shelby. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock, July 29th, on the Faith, Praise, and Worship Ministries in Forest City. Burial will follow at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with the arrangements for Plates Oscar Johnston. Kathy Biggerstaff Tony, age 76, of Bostic, died Monday at Hospice House in Forest City. Funeral arrangements still incomplete and will be announced by the Paget and King Mortuary. Ann M. Moore, age 76, of Lincolnton, passed away Saturday, July 23rd at her home. The funeral service will be conducted at 10 o'clock Saturday, July 30th at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with those arrangements for Ann M. Moore. Paula Marie Cargill, born 78, is in Henrietta. Rutherford, died 18 July in Greenville. A service of remembrance will be held Saturday, July 30th at 2 o'clock in the Fellowship Hall, First Baptist Church, Cleveland Street, Greenville, South Carolina. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of serving the family of Paula Marie Cargill. Stephen Howard Tubb, 78, of Forest City, passed away July 23rd at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. A visitation will be held on Monday, August 1st from 5 until 7 at Crow's Funeral Home in Rutherfordton. A funeral service will be held on Tuesday, August 2nd at Black Mountain Veterans Cemetery, Highway 70, Black Mountain. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Stephen Taub. Wanda K. Petty, 70 of Bostic, died Monday, July 25th at Fairhaven Home, Bostic. A service of Wanda will be announced at a later date. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is serving the family of Wanda K. Petty. James Jersey Manerick, age 43 of Rutherfordton, died Monday, July 18th at Spartanburg Regional Medical Center. There will be no local services. Mike Band's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for James Jersey Manerick. Ruth Cleveland Sane, age 80 of Rutherfordton, died Friday, July 22nd at Hospice House of the Carolina Foothills. A private celebration of life service will be held at a later date. And Mike Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of those arrangements for Ruth Cleveland Sane. Eric Wells, celebration of life to honor Eric this fall, and other details will be posted later. Mike Mahan's Funeral Home is handling those arrangements for Eric Wells. Sarah Vicky Bright, age 61 of Sandy Mush, died July 23rd at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock today at the Element Church. Burial will follow at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with the arrangements for Sarah Vicky Bright. Patricia Lynn Terry, age 61 of Forest City, passed away Monday, July 25th at the Elizabeth House in Flat Rock. The funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Thursday, tomorrow at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow at Joshua Baptist Church Cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with those arrangements for Patricia Lynn Terry. Carolyn Joy Baker Barbie of Spindale passed away at the age of 78, July 18th. A celebration of Joy's life will be held Friday, July 29th at 10 o'clock at the Forest City Ward of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on Mount Pleasant Church Road, Forest City. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is assisting the family of Carolyn Joy Baker Barbie of Spindale. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, be sure to tune in this morning at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon Call Around the County newscast. It's now 18 minutes past 7.
On Texas cattle drives, many a cowboy calmed the cattle at night by singing the Ballad of Sam Bass. It seems that although Sam Bass led a gang that robbed and killed, Sam was a likable guy who just enjoyed the excitement of what he was doing. As a young man, Sam went to Texas and did pretty well racing horses. Using the money he had accumulated, Sam went into partnership with a Texas cattleman on 500 head of beef. Sam and friends drove the cattle up to Kansas and sold them. With the money in hand and some distance between him and his partner, Sam decided to keep it all. Hanging out in Deadwood in the Dakota Territory, the boys spent the money on liquor and women who were even faster than Sam's horses. When the money ran out, Sam and several of his friends decided to form a gang and rob some stagecoaches. Although they were hitting stagecoaches so often that the drivers knew them by name, their take was little more than coffee money. Then, in September of 1877, they decided to rob a train, and it was a jackpot, $60,000 in gold coin. Although county sheriffs, the Pinkerton United States Marshals, and Texas Rangers were on the trail of Sam and his gang, things went well until on July 21, 1878, when they arrived in Round Rock to rob the bank. They were recognized, and in the process, Sam Bass was shot. When a dying Sam Bass was asked for the names of his Confederates, he responded, "It is against my profession to blow on my pals." Now, that's what legends are made of. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
When your taste buds are screaming for delicious, head over to Jesse James Railroad Express. Enjoy fresh-cooked burgers, garden salads, hot dogs any way you like, French fries. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. They're open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. That's Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Ruth. Call ahead, 828-447-4644. And Mondays only, hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
Now we're at the point in the program where we called around the county to find out what news there is to develop. And we're stopping first with the Sheriff's Department, and Deputy Haynes is on the phone to give us an update. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Jim?
Doing great, thank you. Tell us
Good.
what's been going on.
Well, we got 186 in the jail right now. In the last 24 hours, we've had 25 arrests. For incident reports, Bobby Johnson reported breaking or entering. We've got Brianna Thomas has reported a violation of domestic violence protection. We have Daniel Davis, who reported a misdemeanor larceny. We've got William Johnson, who reported a felony larceny of a motor vehicle. We have Adian Ernest, who reported a break and enter a motor vehicle. And for arrest, we got a good bit of these. We got Jason Thompson. He possessed a controlled substance inside the jail. Michael Haynes, possession of methamphetamine. Douglas Cole Suey, possession of methamphetamine. Amy Webb, failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Eddie Jimenez, failure to appear on a misdemeanor. David Godfrey, failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Joseph Towery, failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Chance Doggett, assault on a female, domestic criminal trespass, and violation of a release order. Brandon Scott Williams, felony probation violation. Bobby Johnson on an indictment. And that's all we got today, Jim.
Well, I'm glad you're getting those meth folks off the streets and putting them behind bars.
Yes, sir, we are too.
Appreciate your report, and you have a wonderful day, and be safe out there.
All right, thank you. Y'all too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Lindsay is on the phone with us now from 911. Lindsay, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 communications processed 453 911 calls and admin calls, which consisted of 82 EMS, under law enforcement, 152 Sheriff's Office, 80 Forest City, 8 Lake Lure, 47 Rutherfordton, and 62 Spindale. Under fire calls, Green Hill had a motor vehicle accident, and Lake Lure and Rutherfordton had residential fire alarms. And that is all.
Thank you very much. You have a wonderful Wednesday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
SDO Department is where we're going next, and Ruby Taylor is there to give us the news. Ruby, how you doing?
Well, I'm all right.
Well, that's good. What's on?
Gotta go to work.
Got to go to work doing what, Ruby?
I've got to spray some.
Oh, my. That's always a chore, too, isn't it?
Yep.
What's on the report today?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls, and on my birthday calendar, I got Shelby Doggett and Gail Walker having birthdays, and hope they have a nice day. Signs are in the breast today and going to the heart tomorrow, and that's all I got.
All right, don't work too hard in that sun now.
I'm going to fix and go right now.
All right, I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Bostic Fire District is our next stop, and we're checking in now with DeVern Upton to see what's been happening in Bostic. Good morning, DeVern.
Good morning, Jim. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Sun shining over there?
Yeah, sun's already out, so if you want to do anything, you better get out there and do it.
That sounds like a good idea.
With a temperature of 72 degrees over here, the fire department had no calls, but always remember our firefighters when they have to go out. We have one birthday, Geraldine Russ, and we want to wish her a happy birthday. Hope she has a wonderful day. Bostic Floors have their lamps 20% off the rest of July, so if you want to check those out, go by the Bostic Florist. Chase Ministry is giving out food boxes today from 9 to 10:30. If you need one, go down there and pick up one. I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe day.
You too, DeVern. See you. Thank you, and have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Andrew Tisdale, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we focus what's important to you. We create a personalized strategy backed by our advice, our tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we partner together to help your strategy stay on track no matter what happens. Contact me at any time at 828-287-9197. We'll sit down, talk, and we're going to make a strategy that's right for you.
Now we're heading over toward the Hudlow Fire District. And Mr. Bob Hodge, how you doing this morning?
We're doing just fine on this hump day morning.
Yeah, on a sunny morning it is, isn't it?
It is, and it's got a little fog moved in up here this morning, last little while.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm looking down the road, and it's a little foggy this morning.
Folks have to watch out for that because there's not any here. You may run into it when you don't realize it is there.
That's right. It's in patches there, so you run into it and run out of it there. And, Jim, with the fire department overnight, we've answered one smoke alarm call and had one medical call. I want to say happy birthday to Tommy Pusley this morning. And so far this morning, things have been going along pretty good up here, and everything will look like it's going to be another warm day a little later on.
I believe it is. Yeah, it's going to be really almost unbearable unless you find a cool spot.
Yeah, we got a little shower of rain yesterday afternoon, just for a few minutes there, but cool things off. But then the sun come out, and boy, it was humid then. After that showers of rain, that gets humid after the sun comes back out again. But right now it feels pretty good out here. So.
And it won't be long till we'll be counting the temperature, how cold it is. Will we say, oh,
well, now,
I can't believe it's this cold.
Now, that's true. And, this is the last week here in July. We had August, and after August gets here, it ain't long to cool weather starts again. And then August, every fog in August is how many snows we're going to get. So
Yeah, we'll have to watch for that because
watch out. I believe it's going to be a little colder winter. Way the fruit trees is put on this time is loaded down. Well, I've had pears on my pear tree. There hadn't been any on it in the last couple of years there. So,
that's a pretty good
might
sign.
be a
isn't it?
colder winter.
That's a pretty good sign about what winter's going to be like. They tell us. So we'll
Yes,
see.
it is. Yes, it is. We could have a colder winter this time there. 'Cause it's been several years since we've been down to near zero temperatures there. So
yeah,
it might be a colder one. But Jim, you take care now. And you have a good day over there.
Always enjoy talking with you, Bob. I look forward to it tomorrow morning. You have a good day and enjoy.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let me brag on Hutchins Pest Control a minute. Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service may be the reason they keep getting voted best pest control. If you have a pest problem, call this family-run business at 287-5171. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control and be sure the job is done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171 and they'll be right there. Cherry Mountain Fire District is next on our stop. And Sue Price, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Hope you are.
Yes, indeed.
Well, good. It's pretty morning out there, but it's going to be another hot day, but it's summertime. Now, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. Don't have any birthdays on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I've got the mayor, Forstinger, and, of course, he is on Fairview's calendar, and that's all they have, too. So just one celebrating. And First Broad doesn't have anything on theirs for today, so not too many celebrating. No, if anybody's having a birthday or anniversary, we'll have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. Just try to stay cool. Fairview Baptist Church is having a singing on July 31st. Starts at 6:30 p.m. Joshua Ray Hudson, Southern Contemporary Gospel, and everyone is welcome. Refreshments will be served after the singing, so come on out to Fairview for a good singing and good time together. Always enjoy going up there. And so far, that's the only announcement I have. It's just quiet and calm, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thank you very much, Sue. Enjoy your day, too, and stay cool over there, and I'll see you back here on Thursday.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, folks, Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, Supply is an amazing store. I can say that because they have what you need. From pet supplies to fire and ant killer to horse-quality Timothy alfalfa hay, $14 per bale. Attention carp fishermen, they have C&J flavoring, only $8 per bottle. And they have oats for sale. Refill your propane tanks at the lowest price. Fully stocked with all your deer supplies and a great selection of farm implements. Need mulch? $12 per scoop. We could call it a superstore. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, Supply, 188 Whiteside Road in Rutherfordton.
Well, they've swung wide the gate over there this morning. They're open, ready for you to come by and see what they have at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. They've got a lot of it, too. All right, now let's head up toward Shingle Hollow, North Carolina. Tina White, how you doing this morning?
I am doing great on this Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
It's beautiful up here in Shingle Hollow. It's 71 degrees. I heard Bob talking about his pear trees. My plum tree, I usually get about a gallon of plums. Well, this year we've gotten over 5 gallons, and the ground has been covered. Neighbors have come up to get plums.
Wow.
The grapevine's covered, so if the old-timers say, if the fruit trees are full, then you're going to have a cold winter. We're going to have a real cold winter if that's the indication.
Interesting you should say that, because our fig trees out back, it never produces very much. But this year, I went out there the other day, and there's a lot more figs this year than ever before. So maybe what you're saying is true all around. Maybe we're going to expect some big snows.
Just let's document it, and we'll see. Write down every day.
You got your snow skis all set up?
Well, I carry mine with me. My feet are so big, I just use them as skis. Oh, Jim, God has blessed me with big feet, that's for sure. I've got a big foundation, and I have been teased all my life about my big feet, so I just accept it and say, hey, I've got my skis with me.
Well, one good thing about it, when you have big feet, it's hard to keep your feet out of your mouth. You can't put your foot in your mouth.
I don't know if that's true or not, because there's lots of times that I need to get my foot. It's just more to fit in there. The fire department was all quiet up here in the past 24 hours. We thank you firefighters for all that you do. And birthdays today, we have Nathan Birch. If you know Nathan, tell him happy birthday. And Nathan, I hope you have a great day. White House Community Clubhouse. I think they call it White House Community Center now. And I refer back. I'm a creature of habit. Saturday, July 30th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., so that's this Saturday. There is fun for the whole entire family. They're going to have food, inflatables, different vendors, raffle tickets. I've heard they're selling biscuits for breakfast. They're going to be selling sandwiches for lunch, homemade ice cream. And the raffle tickets are $1 each, or 6 for $5. First prize is a gas griddle. Second prize, a stainless porch swing. And third prize, a $50 gift card. And the drawing will be held at 2 p.m. And on top of that, the first 40 children will get free school supplies, free back-to-school supplies. So this is going to be a big back-to-school bash. And right now, that's all I know of that's going on in the community. I've got my ears on. I'm listening.
All right. Good for you. Thank you, and I appreciate you being on our report. And have a safe day, and enjoy the camp today, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Tina White reporting out of Shingle Hollow this morning. I'd like to mention to those of you who watch via our line on our YouTube, many of you tune in and watch the action because it's easier for you to do that at your desk or wherever you are with your phones, watching us live from the Blue Room. We appreciate you doing that. Thank you. And anytime you miss part of the call around, such as the sheriff's report, you can always go back and refer to it from our instant replay. After about 30 minutes after the show ends, they have that posted for us when they don't mess it up for us. But if you miss the sheriff's report or anything else, go back and hear it again. When we do guests in the studio, you can see who they are and what they're talking about. You can go back and catch that as well. So we thank you for tuning in, www.wcab59.com. And watch online if you can. 7:38 right now. We are heading up toward the Union Mills, and that's where we'll find Brenda Kelly. Good morning, Brenda Kelly.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. How are you on this wonderful Wednesday morning?
Well, last time I looked, I was doing pretty good.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Well, when I look around and see all the good things he's done for me, I know I'm not worthy of them.
As long as you ain't got Tannel rattlesnakes.
Oh, boy. Wasn't that something?
I'd have made me a door.
Yes, they ain't no door. Who do you think they want one? That old Wendy Bagwell fun story's been around a long time.
Oh, yeah. I remember years ago hearing that, and it's always good to hear it again.
Yes, we need to laugh once in a while.
Everybody needs a good laugh to get the day started.
Exactly.
That's it. Well, we hope everybody's having a good day. I've got 68 degrees on the front porch. I've had 68 degrees for Monday, Tuesday, and today. So it's just stuck on 68, but it goes up in the afternoon.
In a hurry.
Yes, sir, buddy. And then ways of announcements, we got Vacation Bible School at Far City Church of the Nazarene. This is August the 5th through the 7th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then Friday, August the 5th at the Union Mills Learning Center, 6 p.m. hot dog meal, $6, 7 p.m. Jordan River Band from South Carolina. There's no admission for the band, but you do have a tip jar available for them. So far, that's all I know of going on right now. I got some more things, but it's later on down the road. So we'll wait a little while.
We'll wait on those a little bit?
Well, we'll wait on them a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You go check on Luther and see if he's doing okay down in Ellenboro.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, catch you later.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Are you tired of waiting for weeks and months to get an appointment with your primary care provider? Or looking for a primary care provider that spends 30 minutes with you instead of just 10? There's one right here in our area. Brock Family Care, located at 289 Shallow Road in Forest City. Brock Family Care provides primary health care and urgent care services for you and your family, as well as coordinate care between hospitals and specialty care. They don't accept insurance, but they have a unique pricing model that should be pleasing to everyone. Check them out at www.brockfamilycare.com or simply call 828-382-7282.
Good morning, Luther Gilligan. Good morning, Mr. Bishop. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well.
Hey, I'm doing great. Sitting here doing a whole lot of nothing.
I like that.
I'm real busy at it. Can't get caught up. But it's quiet morning down here. Not a whole lot happening this morning. Well, it didn't a whole lot happen yesterday. Got a little bit of rain. Had one lightning strike on a tree yesterday during that storm. We got more thunder than we got rain, though. But I talked to one man down here. He got a little rain. I just got about 3 100s. I didn't get a whole lot. But every little bit helped. But nothing else going on down here. Everybody just getting middle of the week. Get on that work, get downhill. So you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I take care now.
Luther Gilligan reporting out of Ellenboro this morning. Nice and quiet over there. It is time now for us to pull in birthdays and anniversaries for this 27th day of July. July the 27th. If you are celebrating, we want to celebrate with you. Call us now. We've cleared the phone lines. It's 287-3356, 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries are coming up in just a moment.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Braves are playing today about noontime. We'll have that game for you, 7:43. And what about breakfast this morning? Did you have a chance to fix your breakfast? No? Well, let Granny Bees do that for you. Call ahead if you want to and order your breakfast, or go by and eat there with them in the dining room. Either way, you'll find omelets, and you'll find pancakes and scrambled eggs and bacon and toast and good coffee and all those good things that you like about breakfast. Croissants. Go by and see what fits your mouth better. Good old hot breakfast is good for anybody. That's Granny Bees serving breakfast Tuesday through Saturday mornings. Right on Main Street, Spindale, right next to the Shake Shop. Go see them, and let's have a good breakfast.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday wishes going out to Daryl McIntyre. Daryl McIntyre is 41. He goes to Rutherford Life Services, and want to wish Daryl a happy, happy birthday. Other birthdays today include Gary, Gygatz? He invented Dungeons and Dragons game. He was born in 1938. 1957, Bill Engvall. He's a comedian. His name Ingall. He was born. Some of the events on this date: 1586, Sir Walter Raleigh brings the first tobacco to England from Virginia. 1789, U.S. Congress established the Department of Foreign Affairs, now referred to as the State Department. 1837, U.S. Mint opens in Charlotte, North Carolina. 1844, fire destroyed the U.S. Mint in Charlotte. 1940, Billboard magazine starts publishing bestseller charts. 1940, Bugs Bunny debuted in Wild Hair short. This is National Korean War Veterans Day. We have a few of you still around. We congratulate you. Thank you for your service. National Korean War Veterans Day. National Scotch Day, National New Jersey Day, and National Walk on Stilts Day. No, thank you. I'll pass on that one, too. So now you're up to date on this date in history here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. Well, when you want your clothes looking good, clean, fresh, and looking like you're somebody, take them by Folks Cleaners and let them clean them up for you. They got a window, drive up to the window door there. You don't even have to get out of your car. They'll pick those up for you. Have them back in a couple of days, and you'll look fresh and like you really care about how you look. That's Folks Cleaners in the Rockwood Plaza, cleaning clothes for folks like you. Keys to Confident Living coming up next. Then we'll take you down memory lane with some classic oldies.
Ted Engstrom in his book Integrity told about a difficult situation made by Coach Cleveland Stroud and the Bulldogs of Rockdale County High School in Conyers, Georgia. They had just completed a very successful basketball season, winning the Georgia High School Association Basketball Championship. Their newly won trophy was proudly displayed in the recently built trophy case. But then something happened. The coaches discovered that they had used an academically ineligible player for a total of 45 seconds in the first 5 postseason games. They reported the violation. Based on the report, the Bulldogs were stripped of their title and trophy. There were those who complained that no one would have found out about it if the coaches would just have kept quiet. Furthermore, they didn't know he was ineligible at the time and only discovered it after the season was over. They also noted that the player's involvement had no material impact on the game, playing only 45 seconds in 5 games. In response to these comments, the coach said, "You've got to do what's honest and right, and what the rules say. I told my team that people forget the scores of basketball games. They don't ever forget what you're made of." Our culture is struggling with a remoralizing of our standards. We are accepting things now we would never have accepted 20 years ago. But it still comes down to what we are made of and not how much we can get away with. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
The music's on us.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. As President Trump makes his first appearance in Washington since losing the election, word comes that he is under investigation by federal officials for his actions on January 6th. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott on Capitol Hill.
This morning, ABC News has learned Donald Trump's actions are now being examined by the Justice Department as part of a criminal investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Sources say that federal prosecutors have asked witnesses about Trump's involvement, bringing in 2 top Pence aides to testify before the grand jury. And the Washington Post reports in April, investigators obtained phone records of key Trump officials and aides, including former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows.
Former Vice President Mike Pence was also in Washington yesterday speaking to a different conservative group. The Federal Reserve is expected to hike interest rates once again today. ABC Chief Business and Economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis.
Here on Wall Street, the expectation is that the Fed will hike interest rates by 0.75% later today in an effort to halt inflation. This would be the 4th rate hike so far this year, and in some ways it has helped inflation. If you take a look at where gas prices stand today, they are down about 60 cents from where they were a month ago, but in other areas the impact has yet to be felt.
Food prices and rent both slamming American consumers. The Brittany Griner hearing now getting underway. The WNBA star facing drug possession charges in Russia. 2 Minneapolis police officers who were on the scene when George Floyd was killed will be sentenced today for violating Floyd's civil rights. Well, what are you going to do with $1 billion?
Pay off debt, go on a long overdue honeymoon, and play a lot of golf.
Not going to happen this time. The $830 million Mega Millions game had no winner last night. Friday's drawing expected to be worth over $1 billion. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right, and when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
The Oak Fire now burning through more than 18,000 acres in Mariposa County, California. Further north in Oregon, one man now under arrest accused of starting 2 wildfires there. New calls for more cops to be suspended after the shooting that killed 19 kids and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. The city's interim police chief has already been suspended, but now family members of victims want all 24 officers who responded to the shooting off the streets as well.
They need to be suspended until the investigation is over, 100%. We don't feel safe with them. Nobody does. And then you're going to have them right here.
That's Brett Cross, father to one of the children who was shot and killed, speaking at a Uvalde City Council meeting. The City Council also joining the school board and asking the governor of Texas to call the legislature in for a special session to consider raising the age to buy a gun in Texas. Also from that state, the lawsuit over Alex Jones and the stories on his site InfoWars that claimed the Sandy Hook massacre was a hoax.
Because speech is free, but lies you have to pay for.
That's lawyer Mark Bankston, representing one of 2 families of Sandy Hook victims, suing Alex Jones for $150 million. They say his lies led to their harassment. Pulled out of the ground in Angola, what may be the biggest diamond of its kind in the last 300 years. The pink diamond weighs at 170 carats. This is ABC News.
I was 53, divorced, and ready to get back out there. I was unsure about dating sites, but I signed up for Silver Singles and quickly met Lily.
Mark and Lily rediscovered the romance they deserve on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for 50-plus singles who know what they want.
Lily's a lover of the great outdoors like me, and we instantly connected over it.
If you're like Mark and want to rediscover that feeling, sign up today at silversingles.com/love. That's silversingles.com/love.
Sherry Preston.
Scorching temperatures will be on tap again this afternoon. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. We have highs heading into the low to mid 90s with a feels-like temperature of 105 or higher. A heat advisory is in effect for portions of our area today. Severe thunderstorms will also be possible with a boundary that's to the north. A lot of tropical moisture will build in. We cannot rule out the potential for localized flooding. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
We have sunny skies and 73 degrees right now. Enjoy the 73 before it gets up to 98 or so with 100-plus humidity factor. 8:05 right now, Wednesday morning, and let's talk with everybody's favorite chef and cook, Mr. Wayne Rollins. Good morning, Wayne. How are you?
Good, Jim. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Yeah, how you like that accolade? Everybody's favorite cook.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know about everybody's, but I think a lot of people do like it, and I really appreciate that. It's always good to be known for something good, you know.
Yeah.
We definitely try our best, that's for sure.
Got big plans for lunch today, I'll bet?
Well, you know, it's Wednesday.
Yes.
It's a great day. It's good old chicken pie. It's kind of hard to beat that. You know, Wednesday's always a good day. Well, any day really is a good day if you wake up and you get another chance. But we serve a lot of chicken pie on Wednesdays. That's probably one of our biggest that we do throughout the week. It usually sells out, and we do a lot of other things. Salads yesterday, I guess. With this weather, I mean, it's just so hard. I mean, I don't see how people, you know, like we do a lot of other hot food, and I understand it. We sold more double cheeseburgers yesterday than we have in a while, and I don't know how they eat a double cheeseburger when it's 90 degrees, but I'm glad they do, because if I eat a double cheeseburger, our double cheeseburgers is not like some of the fast food places. I mean, we got an 8-ounce patty, so if you get a double, you're eating a pound of hamburger meat. And, but we get a lot of people that get them, and yesterday I kept telling my grill cook, I was like, I've never seen this many double cheeseburgers before, and she's like, I know. So, but I mean, that's something, you know, if you, I tell people all the time when they come in there, you get up there and you have your mind set on something. Then when you get there, we got such a wide variety. You're sitting here and you're like, oh God, do I try the fish sandwich? Do I try the hamburger steak?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
One of the salads. So, but yesterday was double cheeseburger and salad day. We sold a lot of salads, and I think it's just due to the hot weather. But we do have good salads. I mean, our chef salads, if you get them with the ham and turkey, or you can get them with a scoop of chicken salad on top of it. We even had a guy yesterday, he got a hamburger steak chopped up on top of our chef salad.
Oh, yeah?
That was a different one. But, you know, our chef salads are not anything out of the ordinary. You know, we got lettuce, tomato, onions, we put carrots and different bell peppers, bacon bits, croutons, cheese, and an egg. That's the base for all of our salads. And then, of course, you can get our grilled chicken, which is probably the most popular of the salads, because we use the tenderloins like we use for our calabash chicken. We throw them on the grill and grill them up and then put them on the salad, or you can get the calabash. Or like I said, you can get just the regular chef salad where we cut up our good ham and turkey and put on it. So we serve a lot of salads, especially during this time of year. I guess it's just one of those things. But we do serve a lot of hot food too. And it's just hard to believe, but you know, I'm glad they do it. It's a good thing. So
you have such a wide variety of a menu, so many different good choices. Do you ever have anybody ask for something that you don't carry?
Every once in a while, you know. Like yesterday, we had a guy that wanted meatloaf, because we run meatloaf every so often. There's just more meats and stuff that we can run. We just don't have the days to run them. So a lot of times, like on Mondays, we run the chicken fried steak, but we will switch it up. Like I told him, I said, well, next Monday, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll run meatloaf, because meatloaf was always one of our biggest, you know, it's a good seller too.
Yeah.
You just don't think about it during the hot weather because it's such a big, you know, hearty meal. You think about that more at supper time, or at least when it cools down some too, because And then like yesterday, we had somebody ask for some pintos. So, sometimes the hot weather affects people. Sometimes it don't. They still want to eat what they want to eat. And
there you go.
so we try to accommodate and do whatever. So.
Well, that's why you're such a popular place for folks to go eat their lunch. You have such a wide variety, and everything I've ever eaten over there has been just right.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's not just me. I mean, I've got a lot of great people that work with me, and they do such a good job. I mean, even yesterday, we were short 2 people yesterday, and the girls I don't know, they amaze me every day. I mean, they jump in there, and even with 2 people short, I think we had maybe one customer that got sort of left behind a little bit, but other than that, I mean, with the amount of people that came through yesterday, I was really proud of my staff, and I try to let them know that, and because I can't do this by myself. I mean, I might be the quarterback, but you got to have a good team to keep running.
Sure.
I definitely got a good team up there. Those girls up front do a good job, and my cooks and stuff in the back, I give them. The girls up front, I'm not taking anything away from them, but my girls back there in the heat, boy, they really put it together and turn it out back there because it gets pretty hot back there.
Remind our audience again, Wayne, on your hours.
Monday through Friday, we're open 11 to 2, and the reason we do that is just, I do a lot of catering, and that's one of the things one of the reasons I open up for lunch. So Monday through Friday from 11 to 2, but any kind of catering or birthday meeting, anything you've got like that, we have a lot of people just do little meetings, and they'll call and order, 10 or 12 plates, and you give me a day or so in front to get ahead of that, we can take care of it. So just give us a call. We'll give you one of our menus for catering, because we can do the backyard barbecue, or we can do the sit down, come through and serve yourself wedding. So we got a lot of different options there too. So if you got anything like that coming up, just give us a call.
Well, you got it going over there, man. I send folks over there to you all the time. They hear our broadcast, they hear us talking to each other, and they'll ask me about you sometimes when I'm out and about.
Well, I tell you a lot. It's been one of the best advertisements that I've ever done. I have people that come in there every day. Everybody don't have Facebook. Everybody don't have the social media.
Right, that's right.
And talking with you on the radio, which, Jim, I don't know. I think you're just as popular, if not more popular than I am. So I don't ever want to have a popularity contest against you.
I wouldn't want to go up against you.
what you guys do up there is just as good as what I do. So y'all do a good job too, and I appreciate everything that y'all do.
Thank you, man. Keep up the good work over there. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Sounds good, Jim. Have a good week.
Right, bye-bye. Wayne Rollins over at Wayne's Lunchbox at 12 minutes now past 8 o'clock on this Hump Day Wednesday morning. I've got some news from here and there coming up in just a moment.
Did you know that approximately 34% of women worldwide are affected by urinary incontinence? But there is good news. You don't have to suffer anymore. Brock Family Care in Forest City is excited to introduce a breakthrough treatment for urinary incontinence called BTL Emsella. All you have to do is sit on the Emsella chair for 30 minutes fully clothed, 2 times a week for 3 weeks, and your quality of life will significantly improve. Sound interesting? Then call 828-382-7282 to learn more about this amazing treatment, or visit our website at www.brockfamilycare.com.
You know, there is a lot of misleading information about Medicaid eligibility. The Arledge Law Firm would like for you to know the truth. For instance, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your home. That's not true. Another one is, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. Again, not true. And this big one, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. Not true, not true, not true. Call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm and get free consultation and learn the truth. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify for nursing home care and not lose everything you own. It's worth a call to Arledge Law Firm at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. A couple of stories from here and there. Here's a story that indicates that anger can really overwhelm you sometime and make you do things you wish you'd never done. So control it. Here's a story out of Salisbury. A North Carolina woman apparently seeking revenge on her ex-boyfriend tried to set fire to a house owned by someone else. The Rowan County Sheriff's Office said in a report that a homeowner in Gold Hill was awakened Friday by a neighbor who saw a woman trying to set fire to the house. There was bundles of wood and a fire on the front porch, and deputies found a jug of oil that they say was used to start the fire. As the homeowner went to get a garden hose, he saw burning pieces of wood around a propane tank. The garden hose didn't work because the woman had apparently used a sealant to block the flow of water. The homeowner grabbed a rifle and confronted the woman, who was holding one of his dogs on a leash. When law enforcement and emergency personnel approaching, the woman drove off, according to the sheriff's report. Deputies arrested the woman and charged her with a felony first-degree arson, assault with a deadly weapon, and larceny of an animal. Bond was set at $101,500. It couldn't be determined Tuesday whether she had already established a lawyer. They'll get one for her. Investigators estimate the home sustained approximately $20,000 in damage. Tried to set fire to the wrong house because she was mad and angry with somebody. Congratulations to the 14 Isothermal Community College practical nursing students who rewarded their pins at a special ceremony this past week. The pinning ceremony, held at the Foundation of Performing Arts and Conference Center, is the traditional graduation event for the students in the practical nursing program. Isothermal Practical Nursing Program celebrates its 50th anniversary in 2022. The graduates of the 2022 class are Misty Bain, Summer Bright, Nadlin Crane, Amelia Harmon, Jessica Hembry, Andre Harmon, Jasmine Hunter, Megan Jessup, Brittany Kimmer, Emma Owen, Rebecca Scoggins, Latika Smith, Brittany Williams, and Jacob Williams. Congratulations to all of these. This reminder, stop by downtown Forest City. We're going to be there live broadcasting on Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock until 4. It's their first year celebration at Foothills Family Hardware Store. You'll enjoy free food. They'll have a cold drinks, all-day giveaways, a prize wheel you could spin, win prizes, super savings all day long. If you come down about 1 o'clock, we'll make sure that you get treated just perfect. Something for everyone. That's Saturday, July 30th, 1 to 4. Hope to see you at the live remote at Foothills Family Hardware. Well, did you know almost North Carolina and all of North Carolina, almost all North Carolina counties have become fatter over 10 years, study shows. Almost all North Carolina counties have become fatter over 10 years, according to a study that was made just recently. Polk County has gained the most weight, according to this study. Currituck County has lost the most weight by comparison. Infographic included showing which states are the biggest losers of pounds. At the end of the NBC's first The Biggest Loser season, the winning contestant had lost 122 pounds. A study of contestants' weight over a 6-year period after the show found they had kept that off 30% of that weight. Unfortunately, when it comes to America's obesity crisis, life does not imitate reality TV. Warnings about America's obesity epidemic are nothing new. Statistics show that a sharp increase in obesity rates began in the 1980s, yet public health campaigns since have, it seems, not resulted in reduction in people's welfare. The top North Carolina counties that have fared best over the past 10 years: Currituck, 1% less obese; Camden County, flat; Craven, flat; Johnston, flat; and Beaufort County, 1% loss. The top are the bottom 5 North Carolina counties that have fared worse over the past years, have gained more weight: Allegheny, 10%; Stanley, 10%; Ashe, 11%; Forsyth, 11%; and Polk, 11% more obese than others. So that gives you an overall look at how North Carolina is stacking up in terms of how we're watching our weight. All right, the Sheriff's Report with Deputy Haynes coming up in just a moment.
This is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates. We know that due to COVID, many people don't want to come in the office. If you need to discuss your insurance needs or just make a payment, you can come through the drive-thru, telephone us, or drop in. We want to see you, but it doesn't have to be across from a desk. Insurance Service Associates, now located at 245 East Main Street in Forest City.
Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid-19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
Smith's Drugs of Forest City is offering the flu vaccines. You can walk in Monday through Friday or by appointment only on Saturdays. The Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers, if you need assistance registering your recall devices, you can call the Home Medical Department at 245-4591. And Smith's Drugs has a large selection of in-stock mastectomy bras, now half price. So come by our Home Equipment Department on West Main Street in Forest City. Smith's Drugs, 245-4591. Sign-up forms are now available for the Meet Me at the Fountain 5K race to be held on Saturday, July the 23rd. Go to smithsdrugsfc.com.
Deputy Haynes was with us earlier. He gave us a report from the Sheriff's Department. We recorded it for broadcast at this time. Deputy Haynes?
Well, we've got 186 in the jail right now. In the last 24 hours, we've had 25 arrests. For incident reports, Bobby Johnson reported breaking or entering. We've got Brianna Thomas has reported a violation of domestic violence protection. We have Daniel Davis, who reported a misdemeanor larceny. We've got William Johnson, who reported a felony larceny of a motor vehicle. We have Adian Ernest, who reported a break and enter a motor vehicle. And for arrest, we got a good bit of these. We got Jason Thompson. He possessed a controlled substance inside the jail. Michael Haynes, possession of methamphetamine. Douglas Cole Suey, possession of methamphetamine. Amy Webb, failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Eddie Jimenez, failure to appear on a misdemeanor. David Godfrey, failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Joseph Towery, failure to appear on a misdemeanor. Chance Doggett, assault on a female, domestic criminal trespass, and violation of a release order. Brandon Scott Williams, felony probation violation. Bobby Johnson on an indictment. And that's all we got today, Jim.
The defending world champs are answering the call. The Braves' run for a title heats up this summer, and we'll bring it to you live.
Fly ball to deep center field. That is gone! Matt Olson with a bomb to center field.
This afternoon, the Braves close out their weekend in Philadelphia as Austin Riley and the crew look for another big NL East win against the Phillies. Braves Radio goes on the air at 11:20 Eastern, 10:20 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
WCAB, Rutherfordton.
Well, it does it for me today on the Blue Room morning wake-up call time. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, will you? Get up earlier, 6 o'clock. I'll be here with live music from the gospel era. Then the Call Around the County newscast, and we'll have some things to talk about as well. Now, stand by. Sports updates coming up in bottom of the hour Word of Faith Fellowship radio program.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Brixby. Michael Harris II, Matt Olson, both homered. Austin Riley stretched his hitting streak to 18 games. The Atlanta Braves beat the Philadelphia Phillies 6-3 to end a 2-game losing streak. Braves catcher Travis d'Arnaud says they had a good approach against Phillies losing pitcher Aaron Nola.
He's obviously a really, really good pitcher, and I feel like we were able to put some tough pitches in play for some base hits, and then the biggest thing was when he makes mistakes, which is very few, far and few in between. We were able to capitalize on those tonight. So I think that was really the difference for us offensively.
The Subway Series got underway in New York, and Tom Merriam was there.
The Mets won the first game of a rare Subway Series with both New York teams in first place, 6-3 over the Yankees. The Yanks jumped out to an early 2-0 lead as Aaron Judge and Anthony Rizzo hit homers on consecutive pitches off Taijuan Walker in the top of the first. It was Judge's 38th homer this season. But the Mets struck back for 4 runs in the bottom of the inning on homers by Starling Marte and Eduardo Escobar. Pete Alonso had a key double in the rally.
This is just such a great team win, and we had so many different guys contributing, so this is a really good win for us, really good team win.
Alonso had 3 hits and a walk in the game as the Mets maintained their 2-game lead in the NL East.
The Chicago Cubs winners over the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-2. Cubs catcher Wilson Contreras is rumored to be among those who may be traded before the trading deadline. He's coming off his All-Star game start last week.
It's tough, knowing everything that is happening around, and I knew it would get to me at some point. And I wish this day never came, but it's about business. I understand that, I respect that, and I love my team. I love my teammates most.
Orioles beat the Tampa Bay Rays 5-3. You're listening to NCN Sports.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public-powered community. When storms or other disasters damage your community's electric system, public power line workers respond first so they can make the scene safe for other first responders. It's difficult work, often in grueling and dangerous conditions. So be sure to give those folks in utility trucks room to work safely and keep your community powered. Learn more about public power at electricities.com.
North Carolina, it's time to get out here.
Time to see some friends.
And see some familiar faces.
It's time to protect yourself and look out for one another.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, you have a spot to take your shot.
You have a spot to take your shot.
You have a spot, take your shot.
Everyone 6 months and older can get a COVID-19 vaccine. Visit myspot.nc.gov for more information.
Years in planning, the Jackie Robinson Museum opened its doors in Manhattan yesterday. WCBS TV's Dave Carlin was there.
Through artifacts, including his jerseys and trophies, plus iconic images and videos, this museum celebrates a huge moment in American history, when athletics gave way to social progress. It was 1947, and Robinson broke the Major League Baseball color barrier. His widow did the honors of cutting the ribbon.
Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren says the conference will be bold and aggressive as college sports goes through a period of sweeping change. He left the door open for more expansion after the league added Southern Cal and UCLA for the 2024 season. Warren says the future could involve more expansion, and the Big Ten will be strategic and look for schools who would add value. Tony Brixby, NCN Sports.
Scorching temperatures will be on tap again this afternoon. It's going to feel very uncomfortable. We have highs heading into the low to mid-90s with a feels-like temperature of 105 or higher. A heat advisory is in effect for portions of our area today. Severe thunderstorms will also be possible with a boundary that's to the north. A lot of tropical moisture will build in. We can't rule out the potential for localized flooding. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
We have sunny skies and 73 degrees currently, according to Peter the meter reader here in our thermometer at beautiful downtown Whiteside Road. It's going to be another hot and humid one. Maybe some pop-up showers this afternoon, but we'll have those pretty regular throughout the season. But right now, 73 degrees. It's 8:30, and time now for the Word of Faith Fellowship radio program. And with the program today is Peter and Kimberly Sutilov.
Good morning, Rutherford County. I'm Kimberly Satulov, and I'm here today with my
dear husband, Peter, and we're happy to be here with you, and thank you so much for joining in with us. We have some exciting things to share today, well, mostly Peter, and we're hoping you're going to be very blessed by it. I know what God's done in our hearts through it has been a blessing. So our subject today is how God shows us things in our lives, and he uses circumstances to show what's in our heart so that we can cry out to him and he can change us. So we have some examples in the Word of God, and we have some of our own personal examples. So the first scripture we're going to talk about is from Mark 10, and it's verses 17 through 27. I won't read everything, but it says, Jesus was setting out on a journey, and a man ran up to him and knelt before him and asked, Teacher, you are essentially and perfectly good. What must I do to inherit eternal life? And Jesus said to him, Why do you call me essentially morally perfect and good? There is no one perfect and good except for God alone. And he said to the man, he said, You know the commandments. Do not kill. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness. And do not defraud others. Honor your father and your mother. And the man replied to him, Teacher, I have carefully guarded and observed all these things and taken care not to violate them from my boyhood. And Jesus, looking upon him, loved him. And he said to him, You lack one thing. He said, Go and sell all you have and give the money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come, accompany me. Walk the same road that I walk, is what that means. And at saying that, the man's countenance fell. He was gloomy, and he went away grieved and sorrowing, for he was holding great possessions. So here we have something here. Here's a young man. He came to Jesus. He obviously wanted to know more of how he could make it to heaven. You know, his heart was to God. I mean, he recognized that he recognized who Jesus was. And when he was told the one thing that was in his heart that needed to change, he didn't want to change. He walked away from Jesus. And we don't want to do that in our lives. We're going to find out through our lives, there's many things in our lives that are going to need to change. And when Jesus comes to us, because he loves us, just like he told the man, how he said, because he loved him, and that's why he told him, we want to receive that love from Jesus and allow him to tell us what's going on with us. You know, sometimes we have to have, you know, someone come up to us and say, hey, you know, what you're doing here is wrong, in order for us to know. A lot of times we don't know what's wrong with us. I mean, I'm not aware of everything that's wrong with me that's going to keep me from going to heaven. That's why I need Jesus to tell me. A lot of times Jesus comes to us in our heart. He might try to tell us something to convict us. Something's not right here. Because if we don't allow those things that are in us to come out and be changed, we won't go to heaven. And we want to go to heaven. Right, honey?
That's right. So, oftentimes we hear that once saved, always saved, and once you join the church, you're on the way to heaven. And it's not really what the Bible teaches us. It's not what the Bible tells us. We don't want to be deceived. We do want to make it to heaven. But those little foxes, they spoil the vine, and we don't want those little foxes to spoil our going to heaven. So therefore, we need to keep our hearts wide open for God to change our hearts, so we can make it to heaven. Here lately, almost this entire year, God's been talking to us at the Word of Faith Fellowship and pointing out different things in our hearts. And he was talking about common ground. I'm going to read a couple of scriptures. Common ground with the devil. Common ground that does not belong to Jesus, but something we have in common with the devil himself that we do not need to have. We don't want to have that. And Jesus himself said in John 14, verse 30, said, I will not, he was talking to the disciples, and he is saying, I will not talk with you much more, for the prince, evil genius ruler of the world is coming. He's talking about the devil. And he has no claim on me. He has nothing in common with me. Jesus says there is nothing in me that belongs to him. Therefore, he has no power over me. You see, when we have a common ground with the devil, that means, what does it mean common ground? We have an agreement. we are joined by certain things with that person or with circumstances or with whatever it might be. We're joined. We have a common ground. So Jesus said, the devil is coming. He has no power over me because he does not have any kind of agreement or common ground with me. And that's what we want, because all of us living on this earth, we are exposed to the devil's attacks, and they can come from all kinds of whether it's upbringing or being around certain people or watching movies or internet. It comes at us. The devil is working 24/7 to put something in us, so he can take us to hell. Okay, another scripture is God's requirements for us to make it to heaven. Is Jesus is telling us in Ephesians about not having spot, wrinkle, or blemish. He's coming for the church that has no spot, wrinkle, or blemish. And I'm going to read just a few verses in Ephesians chapter 5, starting verse 25. It says, husbands, love your wives. And some of you may need to hear that this morning. Husbands, love your wives. And I need to be reminded, and I want to be reminded, I want to have the love of God in my heart for my wife. As Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. So Jesus, he was laying down his life. He gave himself up for the church so that he might sanctify her. Sanctify the church. Who is the church? It's us. Mm-hmm. Jesus wants to sanctify, having cleansed her by the washing of the water with the word, that he might present the church to himself in glorious splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy and faultless. So he's talking about spot, wrinkle, and blemish. What are those things? Those are some of the things that do not belong. There might be some anger. There might be some anxiety. There might be something, you just have bad feelings towards somebody. That's the common ground that I'm talking about even right now, that we have with the devil. It does not belong to Jesus. We do not want that common ground. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 7, it says this, for God has not called us to impurity, but to consecration, to dedicate ourselves to the most thorough purity. That's what we want, and that's what we need. We need that to enter the kingdom of God. And how do we do it? By simply going to Jesus, asking him to forgive our sins, to remove it. Yes. And it's on a daily basis. It's not like you come forward and you say, okay, I'm joining this church, Jesus, forgive me, and I'm good until I die, and you go into heaven. It's a daily experience, daily being saved. We need Jesus daily, hour by hour, minute by minute, because sometimes we feel ungodly emotions. We need to go to Jesus. Jesus, help. It's not of you. I don't need that. Change my heart. So I'm going to give you an example now, and it's quite an extensive example, and all of us have something that you may relate to where by us sharing this example, we'll show you the common ground that might have been there for a long time. And like this particular example I'm going to share with you, that common ground with the devil, it has been in me for a long time. Decades, talking about many decades. So, I didn't care for pets. One reason or another, you're going to find out why. It was fine if the pets were yours and not mine. I noticed when my friends would be talking about cats and dogs, it was such an interesting subject to me. It was like I was waiting for an opportunity for the subject to switch, to go some other way, because I didn't want somebody to say, and oftentimes it did come up, say, well, don't you want a dog? Don't you want a cat? Don't you want a pet? And because of what was in me, for many, many years, I felt that resentment, I felt that resistance. Although, even growing up, we had a cat. And then later on, we had a cat. But yet, common ground with the devil would not let me to accept the will of God and change where God wanted me to change. So, we had a cat. Her name was Tisha. She died a little bit over a month ago. We had her for 15 years. We got her when we bought our first house. Our son Evan was 3 years old at that time. And but before I tell you what happened there, some of you might know, some of you might not know. I was born in Soviet Union, in Lithuania. Things, we had housing, we had food, we had clothing, but not much besides that. There was no abundance of things like here in the United States of America. Everything, the life was practical. So, my dad and my mom, they went through World War II. They went through all kinds of trouble, talking about lack of food, starvation, all kinds of things. So growing up with them, you learn to be practical. So cats and dogs and pets, they were not for pleasure. If somebody had a cat, it was to catch mice.
Right.
If you had a dog, it was to guard a house. So there was a purpose to it. So based on that observation, whether I wanted it or not, that was coming into me. Another thing, we had like a pretty large garden surrounding our house where we lived. And my dad grew fruits and vegetables, put in a lot of work. He'd go out there and dig and plant different plants, cucumbers, tomatoes, potatoes, everything. And I was a part of it too, was helping. And so, what happened next would be, we had a neighbor, older gentleman. He fed every cat in the neighborhood, in the area. He didn't have much to do, he was retired, and so that was his thing. He just had all that food in his pockets as he walked around. He'd just be feeding, and birds including, he'd have pockets full of crumbs. He'd just throw it, and birds would just fly and eat it. And the cats would be surrounding the house where we lived. And what would be happening, my dad would plant the garden, and those cats, because there were so many of them, they would dig up the garden. I mean, they would destroy his work. And it was getting to my dad. He did not like that. It was really getting to his heart in a bad way. So oftentimes I've been around when he would express himself, whatever he would say was negative in regards to that, and not even me at that time not knowing, but that's where the common ground started getting into me, the common ground with the devil, dislike for animals, or dislike for, even though we had a cat of our own back then, a nice, great cat, but because of what was happening, I mean, my dad didn't take it just well, here's what happened. In the Soviet Union, they said there was no God. The radio programs, there was no Christian radio programs whatsoever, none. So sometimes the radio programs or Christians that have somehow escaped Soviet Union, they lived out in the Western countries, they put up radio programs and they would broadcast it. So we had a radio, and you try to find that certain time of the day, trying to find that program, tune into it, but the Russians, they would try to scramble it. I mean, all kinds of interference noises, all kinds of noises. So you have to be very, very particular with the dial to be able to hear. So every night, maybe 6:30, 6:25, we sat down. Everybody sat down, listened to the radio program. It was a Christian radio program. To us, it was like under communism. It's something unheard of. You listen to Word of God. Somebody's preaching in Russian language, coming from Canada or the United States. It was something else. But what he would do, my dad would open the window, and he'd get his BB gun right next to him, because the cats would be walking down the street over there out of the window. So he was ready to take care of a cat or two during that radio program if one was going by, because it was so many of them. So again, I grew up around that. Some of those things just really, really went into me and affected me in such a negative way. So the disdain that my dad had for the pets, that was my background coming into the United States. So 15 years ago, we're going to fast forward, 15 years ago, when Kimberly talked to me about getting a cat, she received a categorical no answer. Again, our son was 3 years old, right. And you want to tell them what happened next?
Yeah, I'll nutshell it. So not that I went beyond what he said, but I kind of did. I said, well, I really feel like we need this cat. And so
It's the will of God.
Yeah.
Because she prayed about it.
I did. I love that cat. She was wonderful anyway. So I brought her home, and not knowing that how he felt about this cat, we took her in and we took her to the vet and did all the necessary procedures and racked up a bit of a vet bill. That's okay because we take care of our pets. So about a month later, after this, I was getting ready to go to work, and I had the cat outside just a little bit. Well, she disappeared to wander around like cats do, and I didn't have time to go look for her. So I called Peter. This was on my way to work, and I said, honey, Tisha's outside. I couldn't find her before I had to leave. Can you try to get her back in when you come home?
So I come home from work, and the cat is not at home. And the time goes on, and the time goes on, and I go to the front door, I go to the back door, call her, shake her treats. Tisha, she's not coming. Now I'm thinking, I got on the phone and said, you shouldn't have let her out. You should have brought her in. So I'm thinking, this is not right. Tisha is gone. It started getting dark. It's getting dark. And I'm thinking, now we lost the cat and we lost the money. That's what I was concerned about. We spent hundreds of dollars and the money is gone and the cat is gone. But I'm like, you're going back and forth, shaking that treat. And all of a sudden it got dark about 8:30. She was working on Belk at the time. Got dark, 8:30. Open the back door. Tisha is standing at the bottom. I broke and I wept. Believe it or not, I was shocked. I shocked myself. I wept. Tears started coming down. I got on the phone. I'm calling her. Tisha is home. Tisha came back. Tisha is home. So that
was
was
quite a joyous reunion. I'm crying. We're crying. I had no idea that he was kind of crying because he lost some money, or thinking he was going to lose some money on that cat.
God started to change my heart at that time, but it was not a complete breakthrough. I still had the common ground with the devil about all this. So I don't know what moved me, the money or losing the cat, but I was crying, happy the cat got back. So fast forward, Tisha was sick, and she was going to pass away. And I knew in my heart that my family would like another pet. But there's a scripture I'm going to share with you that started changing my heart. Because what I felt at that time, I knew they were going to want another cat. And I still felt all those things rise up on the inside of me. Like saying, as a matter of fact, I had a thought, I'll just go in a hotel. If they're going to get something, I'm going in a hotel. And then next thing I'm thinking, no, I have such good friends. They're going to pray for me. I know I'm going to weep. I'm going to cry. I'm going to ask Jesus to forgive me. And it's going to break. And it's going to be all right. And you know how the thoughts work? They're so quick. Just one thought after another. I'm talking about just a few months ago. So
last month,
2 months ago. And I said, no, that's not, it's not going to happen. So one of the scriptures in the meantime start changing my heart is this, Romans 12:15. It says, rejoice with those who rejoice, sharing others' joy, and weep with those who weep, sharing others' grief. So I read it one Saturday morning, and just this one verse, rejoice with those who rejoice. Some of my friends started getting puppies and dogs and everything, and every time a conversation would go about that, I wanted for the subject to change or go join another group.
Well, or he'd pull out his phone and start checking his emails, and we'd be like, Peter, stop.
Yeah. And so God says, rejoice with those who rejoice. And God got my attention. I said, why don't you start rejoicing? They got a pet, they got a puppy, they got a kitten. Rejoice with them. That's a command. God says, rejoice with those who rejoice. Rejoice, and they're my friends. I started agreeing with that scripture. I said, yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. And that was the beginning of changing my heart, even in this. In the meantime, Tisha passed away. I still had that common ground in me, and let's see. Do you want to tell them when you came and started telling me about that?
Sure. So we heard about some other kittens that needed to be adopted. This was right after Tisha passed away, and I was feeling quite a void in my heart for not having my kitty anymore after 15 years. And I started praying about, Jesus, are cats plural? Okay, so Evan, our son Evan, and I, we went to look at the cats, and they were so adorable. And I was really praying and trying to see how can I present this to Peter, who I still feel has a little resistance with the pet issue. So I came into work at our business, and I told him about the cats plural. So
and I said, 2? Because she said, I feel like we need to have a mama and a kitten. I said, 2. And then I go, I thought you wanted a dog.
Which we do.
And she said, not right now.
Yeah, later.
So she said,
this
do you want
was
to go
the
see them?
shocking thing. Go ahead and tell me.
Do you want to go see them? I said, sure. So we went and saw them. And
He said, sure. That's shocking to me. I didn't think he was going to say that, so go ahead.
so we went and saw them, and they were very precious. They were very cute. They were so nice. But the thing about it is, you see, that resentment in my heart, that pushed back, it broke. I didn't feel that. I didn't have that.
And I didn't feel it in him. I was expecting that too, which that's another story.
And the same evening
You
when
don't
we
wanna
talked to
do
our
that.
son,
Right.
you know, he was expecting for me what happened 15 years ago. He still remembers from when he was little. I thought I was going to just put up a fight or something. And he was kind of, you know, he told me later, he was totally shocked on how our conversation went. And then the next day, it shows you when God changes your heart, what happens, the fruit of it. And the next day, it was Saturday. Kimberly went to our neighbors, and she bought some
Those cat trees.
cat
those
trees,
tall,
you know,
climb on
very
and climb on.
elaborate, nice cat trees. And it was Saturday. And normally I get a lot of things done on Saturdays, but here I wanted to vacuum that. I wanted to clean that up because it was used, but it was in great condition. So, and Kimberly comes to me and she said, honey, I think you can go, we can do that. You can go do something else because...
Yeah, I didn't want to spoil the moment.
And I'm saying, no, I want to be a part. I want to do that. I'm looking forward for these cats to come this evening. They were coming. So here's what I'm sharing. It's not a big old cat story. The thing about it is a change of heart of a man that had that in him for at least 4 to 5 decades. Mm-hmm. And when you allow the Word of God come into your heart and start changing, you ask Him, your heart begins to change.
That's right. And because Peter allowed Jesus to show him what was working in his heart about it, because he was honest about it, Jesus was able to change his heart. And I wanted to share that scripture. Where is it? I think
Which one?
I saw it on your page. Here. So in 1 John 1, 8 through 9, it says, if we say we have no sin, refusing to admit that we are sinners, we delude and lead ourselves astray. And the truth which the gospel presents is not in us and does not dwell in our hearts. If we freely admit that we have sinned and we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and true to His own nature and promises. And He will forgive our sins and continuously cleanse us from all unrighteousness, everything not in conformity to His will and purpose, thought, and action. And yes, this is about an area of His heart having to do with pets, all right? But there's a lot of other areas in our hearts that need to change. This was just one small thing that we chose to use. But if He didn't admit that was wrong for Him to feel that way, there's no way God can forgive him. There's no way that it's going to ever leave, because He had to admit it. He had to come and say, yes, Jesus, this is not right in my heart. I really need you. I need you to change me. I'm not going to go to heaven if this stays in my heart. If I have something in my heart that is of the devil, whether it, to my opinion, be a small thing or a big thing, because really we don't categorize things like that, but if I don't let God get that out of my heart, I will not go to heaven. That's that spot. That's that wrinkle, that blemish, that on the day we meet Jesus, that's going to keep me from entering into heaven with Him. And I don't want that. I mean, I was thinking this morning, I thought, here we got married, okay, and I have this beautiful wedding dress. What if I spilled a big cup of coffee on that wedding dress? Do you think I'm going to go right into that wedding service with that big mess all over my dress? No way. There's no way. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm putting it in a kind of a simple term, but there's no way we're going to heaven with things in our hearts that are not right.
That's right. But Jesus is here to help us. In Philippians 12:13 says, not in your own strength, for it is God who is all the while effectually work in you, energizing and creating in you the power and desire both to will and to work his good pleasure and satisfaction and delight. So it's not in our own strength to change ourselves, but God is there, to standing by our side. Hebrews 4. The word of God, the word that God speaks, is alive and full of power. And that's what we're talking about. If you don't get anything out of today, just know that the word of God is alive and full of power. He is making it active, operative, energetic, and effective to change our hearts, to change our lives. Right. It is sharper than any two-edged sword, penetrating to the dividing line, breath of life and soul and immortal spirit. So in other words, God will go into the depths of our heart to point out what's there that doesn't belong to him, that he can change us.
That's right.
Our time is running out fast. But Jesus, in as much in verse 14 says, then as we have a high priest, let's see, we do not have a high priest who is unable to understand and sympathize. He understands and he sympathizes and have shared feeling with our weaknesses and infirmities and liabilities to the assaults of temptation, but one who has been tempted in every respect as we are, yet without sinning. So we can turn to him and go to him for help. So let us then fearlessly and confidently and boldly draw near to the grace, the throne of God's unmerited favor to us sinners, that we may receive mercy for our failures and to find grace in the time of need. And at this time, Kimberly is going to sing a song.
Jesus, you're my Lord and Savior. You're the ruler of my life. I want you to be the King of all the kingdoms of my heart. So purge me, cleanse me, prove me, try me today. Never lift your dealings of mercy from me. I want to glorify you in my life, in every way. So teach me your ways, lead me into your path of righteousness for this day. I want to be your servant, your vessel of honor, bringing glory to Jesus all the way. So purge me, cleanse me, prove me, try me today. Never lift your dealings of mercy from me. I want to glorify you in my life, in every way. I want to glorify you in my life, in every way.
In Psalms 90, it says, our iniquities, our secret hearts, and its sins, which we would so like to conceal even from ourselves, you have set in the revealing light of your countenance. And like that young man that came to Jesus about what he needed to do to go to heaven, Jesus loved him. Jesus knew what was in him. He walked away, but we're not going to walk away.
That's right.
Okay, we are going to let God deal with our hearts. We're going to let Jesus in to show us the things that aren't right. And I know today, let's practice that. I'm going to practice that today. every day. Jesus, what's in my heart that's not right? And please show me, because I want to make it to heaven. What's the thing that I'm lacking that's going to keep me from going to heaven? How can I let you